Hi there, YouTube fans. I'm Darlene. Thank you for clicking on my video today. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Let me get some cards out here and start shuffling. I was thinking today, as I was getting tuned in to do this video, I'd like to do some different things other than bringing through your relatives and loved ones, which I do enjoy doing. But I've been doing this kind of thing for a long time, and I have a lot I could share. And so I'm wondering if anybody out there would be interested in that. I have also thought about doing some lives, like, we'll see what comes through. I have a lot of ideas, but, I have to manage time and all that too. One of the reasons this came into my mind, so bear with me as I shuffle, was some of the information that's coming through today I kind of forget that I do these things, and it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal. And it's just part of what I do, but when you take it out of context, it's a whole other thing. And I'm talking about specifically today remote viewing, and it's where basically you can travel and see, like inside somebody's house, or see, oh, thank you, Spirit. In this case today, and I'm not spying on anybody, so don't go there. Don't go there. That's not what don't do that. Absolutely don't do that. That's a no-no. Only if you are given permission or asked in that context would you do that. Even if you have the ability, you should know better. But anyway, there are rules that go with this kind of thing. To me, having the ability means you have a lot of responsibility. So I take that all very, very seriously, because frankly, I don't want the karma if I do something I think is infringing on somebody else. I don't want that bad karma. But remote viewing is interesting. Where today I was connecting with the person I'm going to bring through for you in a minute, and I was walking around, not literally, obviously, but in my mind's eye, walking around this man's yard because he was showing me something. And I'm thinking, well, that's a whole thing. I could talk about that. So if you guys are interested in that sort of thing, leave me a comment. And thank you, Spirit. Let me know, or let me know specifically what things you'd like me to talk about. There's lots of metaphysical things I could share with you. Oh, that one tried to pop out, did you? Yeah, that one wanted to come out. So that's that. Let me know what you think. And again, if you think it would be fun to do a live, let me know that down in the comments. Well, these cards are just popping out today. I love that. Let me know kind of what you would like. I don't do this for me, y'all. I do this for you. So let me know. All right, we're going to get started here, and I'm just waiting for a couple more cards here to come out. Also, I got to get that business out of the way. That business. So if y'all would please hit that like button, coming or going. I do appreciate it. I'm trying to get started here on YouTube, and it's a slug sometimes when you feel like you're doing all this and nobody's seeing it. So it's just super helpful anytime you click the like on a video for any, good gracious, these cards are talking today. I love that. For any creator. And if this isn't your story specifically, but you think you might know whose it is, please share it. All right, y'all, we're almost there. 2 more cards. I know you cannot see the cards, but I will show them to you. And I'm not even really looking at them if you've not been here before. All right, they're saying there. Okay, I have a gentleman coming through today for you. He was an older gentleman when he passed. Now, when I say older, that's relative, because I'm pretty old. I'm 71 and a half, so it's kind of relative where you are in life. But so he was, I would say, my age or thereabouts. Maybe a little bit older even, I don't know. But he loved to cut his grass. He had a beautiful, beautiful yard. He had a yard that looked professionally manicured, professionally kept, professionally mowed, everything. And it was a real pride for him. And he showed me, he had like a riding lawnmower, and he would get on his lawnmower and just go back and forth and back and forth. And then he would come across this way, and he'd make like if you've been to a golf course, have the greens look so perfect, and some of them have it's almost like a checker in the board design anyway. But I just see him going back and forth and back and forth. And it was like a meditation to him. It was peaceful. It was satisfying. There are those whole channels that devote themselves to satisfying videos. Well, he would have been on one of those. But it was just a thing. We all have our things that we enjoy, and it was a thing for him. He loved riding his lawnmower and taking care of his yard. So he's was showing me, speaking of remote viewing, so he was giving me a little tour around the yard, and I was tuning into that, and it kind of went, as a reader, it went from shifting from me getting it here to me sort of being there, and that's where it's a very subtle shift, but the remote viewing stuff comes in. But anyway, there is, and this is for you, the viewer, his wife is who this reading is for, and family. He had children also. But he's talking about, so you'll know this is him. There's I'm calling it a flower bed. There weren't flowers in it. It was a bed, a landscape bed, like with a border on it. And he showed me, like, if you're looking at the house, it would be on the right side of the house, back, not level with the front of the house, but back a ways to the right of the front of the house as you're looking at the house. And he was showing me this bed, this landscape bed. It has shrubs or something in it, and he was saying either you had talked about this or he was just thinking about it, doing it. But I believe he had you two had talked about changing out what's in this bed. You had discussed or decided to take whatever's in there out and put in some nice decorative pots. He's talking about pots because you just thought that would be more of a focal point or make the yard more interesting or something of that nature. Or maybe what he wanted to plant grew better in pots. But I think a combination of those. I think he thought it would be more interesting. Now he's taking me to, if you turn then left like you're going into the backyard, and he's talking about there, because I think y'all had been in this house for a while, but they're either, something about a pool. There was either originally a pool that got filled in, or you were talking about, or you had talked about putting a pool in, but it never happened. Because right now I'm just seeing grass, again, more grass. And then there were landscape beds, but there was talk about a pool, either one that had been there a long time ago, or you were thinking about putting one in. So again, you'll know this is him, and it was just a thing for him. It was satisfying. He loved it. Wasn't his profession, but he enjoyed it very much. And now we're in the house, and he's showing me. He had a room in the house. He had his little man cave in the house, and I think maybe he had his desk in there and some books and that kind of thing. But he showed me he had these plaques on the wall where he got awards, and I don't know how many of y'all out there would have lived in a neighborhood like this, but you probably know one in the United States anyway. Neighborhoods where they give awards for the best yard of the month or the best yard of the year and things like that. And he had 2 or 3 of those on his wall, and he was very proud of them. It's like this was his thing, And he had this at first, I think it started out with maybe sort of a friendly rivalry with some of the neighbors, a couple of the guy neighbors. And then they just finally threw their hands up and said, oh, well, we're never going to beat this guy. He's just so good. So it kind of became, oh, I guess so-and-so's going to win again this year, sort of thing with him. But he also had that as a common interest with his brother. So they really enjoyed that. But the brother wasn't nearly as good at it or as devoted to it as this gentleman was. But it was a common thing that they both enjoyed, keeping the yards. And I mean, he's one of those guys that would get out there, not often, but sometimes he would literally be out there with a pair of scissors trimming the grass around this edging, you know. One of those really perfect yards. So that's how you'll know this is your person. Let's see if there's anything else with that. So the reason he's coming through and what he wants to talk about today is because the wife who was left behind in the family, in particular the wife, can't keep it like he kept it, and she's feeling bad about that, and he wants you to stop it. He wants you to stop feeling bad about it. He knows you aren't him. He knows that you don't have that same passion for doing it that he did. And again, I could do a whole video on this too about how people change when they get on the other side. We don't have the same priorities. We don't have the same baggage. We don't have the same things either holding us back or the pain and the challenges, mental and earthly challenges that we have here over there. It just, all that shifts over there. So what would have bothered him maybe about that here doesn't bother him in the least over there. And he wants you to know that it's not a thing. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Do the best you can. That's essentially what he's saying. Do the best you can. It's no big deal. So relax, because I can tell you're stressed about this. And he's so not. So let that be a little comfort to you. And he says, I appreciate you caring about that. And I appreciate, because it's a matter, it tells him how much you respected his effort in that, but it's not a thing. So please, whoever this is for, relax around that issue. Now, I've got some cards here, and I have no idea what they're going to tell me, so let me tune into this a little bit here and see if there's messages more about that, him, or about you. And my hair is tickling my face and driving me crazy. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get that. I'm getting to a couple of different stories here, so I'm trying to sort it out in my noggin here. Okay, well, the first row here is just more about that message. So let me pull these cards. Okay. The first row is more about just that same message. So we got the Nine of Cups stuff. I might have to put my glasses on for this. Page of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So it's just more about what was important and what was his passion and what was his dream fulfillment in life. Doesn't have to be yours. This is really being in your head about something, a mental process of. It can be a lot. This card specifically can be a lot of things, but what I'm getting from this, and the truth of it is, it was his passion, not yours. So that's just reiterating that message. Now let me see these others. Well, I think this is two different messages again, but the second row could also be interpreted like that you've got a lot of options about what you want to do about this yard and this in the home. It's not just about the yard. Yeah, that was his passion, but this is about your family home too, because I think you're questioning. It's not a mansion house, but it's also not a small house. So it's a lot for you to take care of, and so he's. Okay, I see now. Thank you. He's saying you're confused about what to do about it all. You're confused about what to do at all. And he's saying do what makes your heart happy. Don't worry about him. He's in a happy place over there. You do what makes your heart happy. And if it means you need to move on and do something different, then you do that. You do that by all means. Because he sees that you're juggling a lot, taking care of this, taking care of the house here. That it's taking a lot of your strength. And he also knows that there's a part of you that it would break your heart to leave this house because of all the good memories you had together there. And he sees that, but he's saying, be strong like this king. This is the King of Wands. Be strong. Don't be afraid of new adventures. This King of Wands wouldn't think twice about doing what he needed to do. And that's the point of this. Thank you. That's the point of this, is do what you need to do, not what you think he'd want you to do, because that doesn't matter anymore. He understands there's no less respect or love for him. He understands that. But you're still here in the physical world. And those of us that are here, we have to balance. We have to balance finances, and we have to balance time and energy and all those things that living in a body requires. So he's saying, do what you need to do for you and your, well, all of your health, your mental, financial health, because he can tell this has become a burden for you. And he's seeing that he doesn't want that. So he's telling you, and maybe you've even been trying to do this on your own, because the message there, this is the Three of Pentacles, and it can be about collaboration. So he's saying, collaborate, hire somebody to do this, or oh, okay. One moment, incoming. Okay. That's a very specific message, but mine always are, right? Okay, so I'm wondering if someone in your family, one of your children perhaps, or somebody that you know would be interested. At first, I was thinking moving in with you, like renting a room or something. Maybe you've got a child and grandchild or something in college or whatever that might want to rent a room for you. That might help, and they could help take care of it. So that's one thing. But also what came through was this could also be someone you know who'd want to buy the house. Someone that you already, that's in your periphery. Someone, could be somebody in the neighborhood, someone that your family knows, some family member. Maybe, like I said, one of your children, or maybe their family's expanding and they need something bigger. So, because I've got, this is the 4 of Wands, which is about happy home, and there are a lot of happy memories there. So, and I know you're sad to walk away, but again, that message but don't be afraid to move on. Don't be afraid to, to move on, to take your horses and move on, so to speak. Horses on the card. And that's the truth. The Devil card here, now this is interesting, because the Devil card can be a lot of things. It can be obsession, certainly, and addictions and all those things. But it's about restriction. Ultimately, it's about restriction. And in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, it's the Devil, and he's holding the chain, or there are chains around these two people in front of him, implying that he has chains around these two people. Well, if you look at the card, these people could easily take the chain off and walk away. And so that's essentially the message. It's just the same message kind of coming back around. Thank you for backing me up, Tarot. But just that one man's pleasure is another man's pain. And so this was his pleasure, but it might be your pain to try to keep this yard up and to keep this house up and to keep all this going, just because it was a wonderful memory for you two. So it's interesting. I had a similar, I don't typically ever get similar messages, but I do remember one where a husband came through and told the wife it was okay to sell the house. I remember that. So this is very similar, but he wasn't talking about the yard and all that stuff, but it's interesting. Anyway, let's see if there's anything else here. You know what I'm also getting? That it might be the time of life, certainly for you to downsize, and I've done that 3 times, and I want to tell you, it's freeing. It's so freeing. So if you're thinking about that, you can get to the point in life where your things own you and not the other way around. And so I'm just seeing that I think you would find you could do more things that you enjoy, that bring you joy, things that you love, if you had more time and you had maybe more money. Maybe that's a factor here too. I don't have Pentacle cards here, but to speak of, but that could be a factor. Yeah, because you continue to hold on tight, and you're having a lot of anxiety. This is not the Nine of Swords. It's 10 of Swords, but still, I look at that and I just see anxiety. A lot of, in your swords are mental process thoughts, and you're looking back at all this time that you put into this place and your efforts, and you're just wondering again. You're wondering about if it's the right thing to do. That you'd have to make a choice here. It's going to take you a little work to get it done if you decide to sell it, but it will bring balance. Oh yeah, look at this. You can't make this stuff up. I was saying it will bring balance, and right behind that is the Wheel of Fortune. So it would be a good move for you if you're thinking about this. And again, I just feel that there's someone in your periphery. I don't even think you'd have to put it on the market and go through all that if you're thinking about it. I think there's someone in your periphery, again, could be a family member. I'm getting that pretty strong here, that would love to take it and love it like you two did. Is there anything else? Okay, there is a pet buried in the yard. And he's saying, don't worry about it. The pet's over here with me. So that's just what was. That's not what is. And be mindful of that. When we leave here, we carry, did I hit my mic? I'm sorry. We carry the important part of us, our soul, our spirit, our experiences, our love for people. We carry that with us. That's what we get to carry with us. We don't get to carry anything else but that, but that's what we do get to carry with us. So bear that in mind. So he's saying, don't worry about that either. So wherever, and I'm seeing that kind of looking out your back door into your backyard, that would be in the back left corner is where I'm seeing that this pet is buried back there. Don't worry about that. It's okay. Pets, like I said, pets cross over. He's got the pet over there. Don't worry about it. It's all fine. And he just wants you to not stress out. Okay, he's pulling his energy back. That's it for today, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, leave me a comment. Let me know what you're thinking in terms of what you'd like me to do, other kind of readings, or talk about psychic things, or mediumship things, or house energy things. I mean, I can do all of that. So let me know what you're interested in seeing, and I'll see if I can do a live. Yeah, if you want a live, or do you want me to do videos, or what would you like? All right, y'all, thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out, and if you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I try to do one of these at least once a week, and hopefully more in the future. So thank you again for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Take care. Many blessings. Bye.